Hi, I'm Darlene. Today I'm going to show you how I made these fun little flowers with the scallop circle punches from Stampin' Up! I tried to make them mostly in like a monochromatic color, but you could complement these with any papers, back and forth, pattern papers. I made my own pattern center, so we'll show you how I made those. First thing you're going to need for the center embellishment on this flower is a background stamp. I use the En Francais background stamp from Stampin' Up! And some real red classic ink. How I do the background stamp is I put my paper from the top down. So you want to get a little bit of ink on here first and be very generous with it. I'm only going to ink up just the part of the stamp that I want. For example, this one, it doesn't really matter. It's all writing, but if you had a special image that you wanted on there, you would ink up that part, obviously. Then get yourself a little piece of Whisper White, and how I do it is I gently lay it down on the top, and then I take a piece of scrap paper, copy paper, lay it on the top, and without moving the cardstock underneath, I just lightly rub down on the top using gentle pressure. Remove the scrap paper, hold this even, gently lift the corner, and you get a really pretty stamped image. You're going to need for this project the 2 3/8 inch scallop circle punch. This is the new design that Stampin' Up! Came out with. This is the older design, and this is the 1 3/4. And the cardstock colors that I used for this project, the largest circle I used Cherry Cobbler, and it's plain cardstock. We're just going to punch out one of those. Put it underneath. I turn my punches over so I can see where I'm actually punching. Then I have real red, and I'm going to use the 1 3/4 inch scallop circle on this. And then this should be dry by now, and I use the 1 3/8 circle punch, and this is the old style again. They work just as well as the other. New styles are very nice now. Assembly on these are very easy. Take your snail adhesive, couple of pieces of adhesive on the back of the middle one, flip it over and line these up. Same with this. I'm pretty generous with my snail. As I've said before, I don't like the projects to come apart. Put that in the middle also. For the center embellishment, I'm going to use one of the large Cherry Cobbler buttons from the Designer Series buttons. This happens to be the Regal collection. There's wonderful sizes in here. You get the small flower, you get a lot of different colors, and it coordinates with the papers in that collection. In Regals, there's also subtles, brights, neutrals. They're very nice to have on hand. So on this sample I used the Cherry Cobbler button. Take a piece of crochet cotton. I buy a large amount of it up at the craft store. You want to feed it down from the top to the bottom, back up through, and I tie a square knot in it. Square knot, if anybody does not know, you go from the right over to the left and wrap it around and pull it tight, and then reverse it. Left, left over the right and through. And it locks it in nice and tight. And then just snip off your ends Now to adhere this on, I use the small glue dots, and I like to put 3 of them on there. If you have a larger glue dot that's more heavy duty, I would suggest you use that. I'm using up some of my smaller mini glue dots, so I put 3 on, and it also doesn't raise the profile up too high. These are nice and flat. And then you just center it. And press down. And then for the back, seeing I don't have a brad on this one that you could use to secure it on, I just used a heavy duty 3D glue dot and press it on the back.